highway that goes from the coast to coast, New York town down to Los Angeles. It's named Will Rogers that traveled that road from New York town down to Los Angeles. That 66 highway, the Will Rogers Road, it's lined with jalopies as far as you can see. With a mighty hot motor and a heavy old load from New York town down to Los Angeles. 10,000 people you see every day, camped under the bridges and under the trees, with rattle-trap cars that have come apart from old Oklahoma to Los Angeles. We loved Will Rogers, we loved his smile. We went to the movies, Will Rogers to see. We've followed him now for many a mile from old Oklahoma to Los Angeles. That 66 highway, it's mighty hard. All day you're hot, all night you freeze. But we gotta have work, so we're taking a chance from old Oklahoma to Los Angeles. Will Rogers was born in Oologah in the nation of the Cherokee, and 100,000 have followed him now from old Oklahoma to Los Angeles. That wind it blowed and the dust got black, and now we're known as refugees. We're stranded now on the 66 highway from old Oklahoma to Los Angeles.
Well, that's fine, Woody. I guess you must have some kind of disaster song somewhere amongst all these songs. Something that happened to these people who were living down by the river. All these Okies stranded out there.
Woody, what's the most popular of all the bluesy songs among the people tramping up and down the railroad in California?
Well, one of the most popular, Alan, was the one that they chose for the Great Sarath picture. I'm going down that road feeling bad. That's got 2 or 3 names. A lot of people call it the Lonesome Road Blues. Others call it going down the road feeling bad. Anyway, in the picture, they sang it pretty classical. I don't know whether the Okies and the Hobos will recognize it or not, but then I'm not worried about that because I don't think that they'll be spending a quarter to get to see a bunch of grapes or stuff. They don't know what the devil that means, grapes, wrath. They just But here's the old song. It was wrote by a colored slave that run off from his master and he went back up north. He was a southern slave and he run up north and it was pretty cold up there. So he worked around up there a little bit and stayed in jails and everything and was treated like a dog. And so he wrote this song, or got it started. I'm going down that road feeling bad. Yes, I'm going down that road feeling bad. I'm going down that road feeling bad, Lord, Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. While I'm way down in jail on my knees. They got me way down in jail on my knees. They've got me way down in jail on my knees. Lord, Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. They feed me on cornbread and beans. Yes, they feed me on cornbread and beans. Yeah, they feed me on cornbread and beans. Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. It takes a $10 shoe to fit my feet. It takes a $10 shoe to fit my feet. It takes a $10 shoe to fit my feet. Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. 'Cause a $5 shoe hurts my feet. Oh, a $5 shoe hurts my feet. Yes, a $5 shoe hurts my feet. Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. I'm going where the climate suits my clothes. I'm going where the climate suits my clothes. I'm going where the climate suits my clothes. And I ain't gonna be treated this way. I'm going where the chilly winds never blow. Going where the chilly winds never blow. I'm going down where the chilly winds never blow. And I ain't gonna be treated this way. I'm going down that road feeling bad. Yes, I'm going down that road feeling bad. I'm going down that road feeling bad, Lord, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. No, I ain't gonna be treated this way.
What you told me a story that I'd like you to put on the record about the old man that you met in Oklahoma when you came back from California to Oklahoma the last time.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess you know about the handbill situation, that where they handed out all the handbills through that country telling that there's good work, good pay in California, plenty of cotton needed picking, 800 people wanted, come on out, get 'em while they're hot. Well, they got about pretty near 300,000 out there. That was one successful advertising campaign. Anyway, a lot of people wonder how that same condition is today, if there's anything like that still taking place. Well, the latest trick that I found, and one of the worst, one of the stinkingest things that I've run onto, was down in Oklahoma about a month ago. I was hoboing it down the road, and I caught a ride on a truck. And I was sitting on the back of the truck with my feet hanging off, just a-going and a-blowing right on down the road, skipping through the dew and making about 50 miles an hour. All at once the truck driver stopped, throwed on the brakes, and I looked back down the road there, and there's an old man. He was a little feller. He was about 5 feet, 5 or 6 inches tall, and he looked like he was about 55 or 60 years old. He had a big heavy suitcase, great big pair of tough shoes on, and he needed about 7 shaves. And when that truck stopped, well, he jumped in there like a jackrabbit. He made about 3 hops and he was in. Anyway, he had a big heavy suitcase, and I helped him get that up in the back of the truck, and then I said, "Where are you going?" "Oh," he says, "I'm going up here to this next town." He said, "I've got to meet a feller up there on some business." I says, "Whereabouts you live?" "Oh, I live back down here now at this next town. It's called Cornwall. That's where I live. But then I'm going to work Been looking for a job now for about 10 years, and I finally found one. I says, whereabouts did you find the job? Oh, he says, I'm going to California to do the work. California. Said, I know a fella out there, he's a contractor. Said, I got acquainted with him last week. He take me out. I said, what'd you say that man was? He said, a contractor. Well, we drove along, and I says, a contractor, huh? He says, yeah, the way he works, he goes to California, and he contracts several thousand acres of land, you know, orchards, and he guarantees that he'll furnish the men to pick the peaches and oranges and apricots and gather in all the stuff they grow, grapes and so forth. He says, I'll make about $5 a day out there. I sure can use it too. Gonna send it for my wife too, quick so I can get a few days in. She wants to see California and sunshine. Figured out the ocean. She always wondered what the hell the ocean was and what it looked like. So he's gonna write for her, and I said, what part of California are you going to? He said, well, I'm going to a town. He says, I don't know just where it is, but it's a little town out there called Los Angeles. I said, who's going to take you out there? Oh, he said, this contractor feller is going to take me. I said, sure enough. How come him to be so interested in you? Oh, he says, I pay him $10 to land me in Los Angeles, and he said the 6 of us going to ride with him this trip, and he said $10 a piece. We're going in Los Angeles, and then he's going to give us name and address of this here feller that's going to pay us the $5 a day. Well, we're going to pick some fruit, so we're fine to have a job, he said. And I said, well, friend, I don't want to discourage you none, but I said, I just been out to California. I've slept under every important bridge there. And I said, I just wanted you to know that I don't want to try to be a prophet or nothing, but I said, I'm going to tell you just exactly what you'll do when you get to California. I said, you'll go out to California. They'll give you this card with his name and address on it, and you'll go meet this here feller. And you'll go out to his place. He'll say, damn, I never seen nothing like it before. That fruit's in awful shape. It ain't going to be worth nothing this year. I doubt if it's worth picking. The price they're paying, I think maybe I'll just let it rot. But, of course, if you boys want to pick it, just naturally haven't got no job or nothing to do, you can pitch in there and pick it if you want to. And when you pick and pack and carry and load 1 ton of peaches, why, I'll give you $1. And I says you're not going to see a $5 bill while you're in California. I don't care how long you stay there, unless you just go visiting somewhere and just for curiosity, a bank or somewhere, and just stand there and look. And he said, well, now, he said, I've heard that story. He said, you're not the first feller to tell it to me. But he says, nothing here for me. And he said, I've heard about the business out there, but he said, it's a chance, it's a promise. And he said, I'm anxious to work, and I'm going to take it. Dust Bowl refugees. just a dust bowl refugee. From the Dust Bowl to the Peach Bowl, just a Dust Bowl refugee. Lord, that peach fuzz, it's killing me. Across the mountains to the sea, come the white band, kids and me, down that hot dusty highway, just a dust refugee. Once that dust bowl was our home. Now we ramble and we roam in the jungle by the railroad, just a dust bowl refugee. In your orchard and in your trees, days you're hot and nights you freeze, picking oranges, avocados, just the dust bowl refugees. Across the desert and the plains, through the dust and wind and rain, in the snow that caps your mountains, just a dust bowl refugees. Heart, it's always been that way, getting harder every day. Mighty hot old winding highway,